Hope that India can bring back the cup.
Absolutely, Harini, you know.
We won't give it back! We won't give it back! We won't give it back! We won't give it back!
Well, it's certain that India are among the top two, perhaps three favorites in the tournament now. There's no question about it with the kind of clinical performances that they have been putting in.
New Zealand in semi-final as well. That's for sure as well.
Yeah.
And we will see Australia in final.
Yeah.
And that's we will beat Australia as well, and that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee.
That's one thing I'd like to see.
Yes, well, everyone's talking about the semi-finals and the finals already. Maybe we shouldn't be jumping the gun that much right now, but yes, there's no question about the fact that India are very much among the top 2 or 3 firm favorites now in this tournament. Not just us saying that, you know, the likes of former Kiwi captain Stephen Fleming also saying that everything seems to be coming together for India just at the right moment.
Well, we always knew the batting was going to be strong. The key players were going to come good, and they have. I think
the one most likely to have an off day because, I mean, he's the quickest and, you know, he's a little raw still, if we can put it that way. And, you know, he does spray the ball every once in a while. So not only physically, although he's very fit, you know, because you bowl that quickly, you will always be risking an injury or a niggle. And, of course, if you don't have your best day, then you try harder still. And what that does, it just makes you spray even more. So, yeah, an off day for Ramesh and perhaps a valuable reminder that, you know, there are options. And I don't know whether India will finally play Bhubaneswar in that match against Zimbabwe and give Umesh a rest. Has Umesh come a long way? He has, because he's holding his own and he's a tough young kid. He just needs a little bit of rest and a little bit of calming down. So, you know, not such a bad day for Umesh to have an off day against Ireland, but of course we wish him well. I just want to quickly add that there's a lot of jubilation about winning the cup and all, and the last thing I want to do is, you know, pour any kind of water down these dreams. But who are we likely to face in the semis and finals? The 2 best teams, New Zealand and Australia. So let's hold on to our horses when it comes to the semis and the finals, a long way off right now.
They are a long way off, certainly. And, you know, the Kiwis, if any team's looking better than us, it might just be them. So, yes, we rather not jump the gun right now. We'll still talk about, you know, a couple of the chinks in our armor in a minute. But back to Harini for a few minutes just to get a sense of what the fans out there are saying. And, Charu, whether or not we warn them, whether or not we tell them that let's not jump the gun, I'm telling you, they're doing just that. Harini, everyone thinks India's already won the cup, yeah?
Take it.
How good was the game today?
Sorry, where was
How good was the game today?
Look, it was an exciting game. I think after 38 overs, we had a lot of people worried. We gained a lot of respect. And it was all nervous Indians. They were very quiet. The Swami Army were taken over by the Blarney Army today. And it was only unfortunate we gave away a lot of cheap wickets there between 38 to 47 overs. So we made it a contest and gave India the opportunity to come back to get the 2 points today. But we will meet you in the finals, and we look forward to having a great contest.
in your dream!
Definitely, we will definitely meet you in finals if the team, your team will reach in final. Definitely.
Beat Pakistan! Beat Pakistan! Beat Pakistan! Beat Pakistan! We are a small little nation, but playing a minority sports in our country. We are so proud of our guys just to be here. We are so proud. Come on, Ireland!
Sorry?
A
song? So there's only one team in Europe. There's only one team in Europe. One team in Europe. There's only one team in Europe. Bye-bye, England. One team in Europe. There's only one team in Europe. One team in Europe. There's only one team in Europe. Bye-bye, England. Yeah.
It was a great game. The Irish players were very friendly. Sadly, our Indian players never give eye contact or smiles to their fans. That's one thing they need to learn to do.
Well, great scenes out there. You know, Shishir, it's of course that the great rivalry between Ireland and England is obvious with the Irish fans there talking about there being just one team in Europe. But to me, what's even more interesting was the fact that the one thing that the two sides, the Indian and the Irish fans, said together was beat Pakistan. Because remember that one game is still left, and in case Ireland managed to pull that one over Pakistan, they're going to be in the quarterfinals.
And they'll be one up on England anyway. They can borrow their England captain because he's Irish, isn't he?
Yes. He might want to re-migrate now.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. The Indian fans are anything but reticent. So, you know, their hopes are always high. And they keep talking about bringing the cup back. No, we'll get to keep the cup if we win the World Cup. So we're champions if we remember what happened in the last World Cup. But, you know, this is now about one bad day at the office for us. And one bad day at the office, you know, spoils everything, all the good work that we've done. We have to be cautious of that. We have to be careful of that. Yes, get your processes right and don't think far too ahead. Because what we're going to do now is play teams that will come at us very hard, and we'll have to come at them harder. And one bad game and you could be out of the tournament. So let's just play it by the year, play it by the day, and make sure that, you know, you get your processes right. We've done things correctly over the last 5 games and hope that we go ahead in the same vein. But let's not get our hopes too high at this stage. Once you're in the last over of the finals, we can then talk about winning the World Cup. At this stage, I think it's getting ahead of the game.
It certainly is. And also, you know, Shishir, just stay with us on this point that Charu was making a couple of times. One, that yes, it was probably the best day for Umesh Yadav to have an off day because, of course, it was an expectedly easier match than the ones that are going to come in the knockout stages. But therefore, should this have been that opportunity? Should the match against Zimbabwe be that opportunity where Dhoni tries out a couple more guys? I mean, Bhuvi's been relegated to, you know, warm the bench, and Dhoni said it clearly in the press conference after the last game. Let the bench warm the bench. Is that the best way to go forward?
I think so. I think so. For the simple reason that now you've got your combinations right. And yeah, I mean, no player looks at it as if he's playing Zimbabwe or Ireland. I mean, if Umesh Yadav has had a bad day or off day, it would have been against anybody because he bowled badly. It's not against the opposition, but he's not bowled well enough or at par at the way he really bowls. So that's something that one would like to look at and just keep the combination going. If it means dropping Bhuvi, so be it. At this stage, let's not get into, you know, trying out because now there are only 3 games to go. There's the quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals. If we win all 3, we're champions. So why go in for changes at this stage? You know, just get the best out of whoever has performed and make sure that, you know, the bench that is seemingly warming the benches is ready in case there's an injury. At this stage, let's not think negative and think about injuries. Think about what we can do with the existing team that has performed.
No, fair enough. I mean, it's not about thinking negative though, Charu. The fact is that there is that one game against Zimbabwe left. And honestly, it's going to make absolutely no difference to India or their position in the Pool B table because India are topping the group now. There's no question about it. They will be playing the number 4 team coming in from Pool A. Would you think that that is really the right opportunity to perhaps get a couple of new guys in?
You know, I don't mean to hugely disagree with Shishir, but, you know, I am a big exponent of getting everybody match experience, or not experience, but, you know, to be match ready. You can't be match ready by you know, overdoing the nets. So against him, we've got absolutely nothing to gain and nothing to lose. So why not get the bench, you know, at least 1 or 2 of them. I'm not talking about wholesale changes. Maybe 1 or 2 guys can just get a match in. So especially a faster bowler, because where are the largest number of injuries per capita, as it were, in the fast bowling department? And they've got to be match ready. They've got to have played a match. They've got to have that confidence, because God forbid, and of course, who's going to anticipate injuries? But they happen. It could happen in training. You know, a little finger gets tweaked somewhere. Anything could happen. And then you pitchfork a bowler or a batsman into a quarterfinal straight away, and then you never know in terms of, you know, some higher level of butterflies in the stomach. Get rid of the butterflies in the stomach for at least 1 or 2 players, 1 batter maybe, or a spinner and a faster bowler in this last match against Zimbabwe. Just, you know, just in case that...
Charu is being very polite, Tina. He's being very polite. Actually, he hugely disagrees.
Yes. He does, yeah. He's basically sugar-coated the disagreement with some very nice and courteous words. But the fact is that he
the true
completely
gentleman that he is, he usually disagrees with me.
Yeah, he does. Okay, but you know, I would have to say that if at all, then the game against Zimbabwe would be the ideal situation to try out a couple of guys, perhaps bring Bhuvi back into the mix, because India are sitting pretty, very pretty at the top of the Pool B table, 10 points, way clear of everybody else. In fact, there's a bit of a blood sport going on for the rest of the spots for, 2, 3 and 4, and it's going to be interesting to watch how those spots are snapped up. For the moment though, gentlemen, thanks very much as always for joining us here on Power Play. It looks like, the juggernaut is not taking any chances. It's going on non-stop, win after win for India.
Hamilton.
Yes, happy hours in Hamilton and happy hours in India too, with all the fans rejoicing. Thanks very much for joining us on Power Play. We're just going to get in some more news from the World Cup and head into a short break.
New Zealand cricket team leaving up to 3 players in doubt for their final World Cup Pool A game against Bangladesh on March 13th. Head coach Mike Hesson was reluctant to provide details, but said 2 or 3 unnamed players felt unwell following their 6-wicket win over Afghanistan. Sri Lankan great Muthaiya Muralitharan believes Kumar Sangakkara would be the batsman all other teams feared at the 2015 World Cup. The left-handed keeper batsman scored his 3rd successive 100 against Australia on Sunday. Sangakkara also became the first batsman to score hundreds in 3 consecutive World Cup innings. Bangladesh captain Mashrafe Mortaza has said that his team is ready to take on India in the quarter-final match of the 2015 World Cup. Bangladesh knocked England out of the ongoing 2015 World Cup with their 15-run win in the Pool A tie at Adelaide Oval.
What do you think of the way Ashwin is shaping up? Number 1. Number 2 is, in the last match we saw the untested components in batting do well. Today we saw the spinners pull things back. How do these things matter in a long tournament like this, when you see the different parts coming together?
I think the crucial part is for everybody to score runs, to get wickets and to bowl well, because ultimately in the knockout stages you don't really know, who all you may need. So it's important that everybody gets a bit of confidence going, and as you rightly said, most of the batsmen, they have got some kind of a batting so far. The bowlers have done well this game. The spinners, they bowl really well. As far as Ashwin is concerned, obviously, he's someone that I always love to have. The reason being, I've always pushed him to bowl in the power plays, and even I've used him whenever I'm in difficult situations. So he's very confident about his bowling. He understands his bowling well, and I believe he has learned, in the last few foreign tours that he moving himself. Every time he's part of the series, he sees the challenges and accordingly he improves. So it's obviously good to have him, and it's good to see him bowl really well.
MS, is your biggest challenge now? You've topped the group. Is your biggest challenge now keeping yourself motivated, because Zimbabwe is a meaningless game for you?
We are highly motivated, in this game also. If it comes to the points and all, we had qualified for the next stage, but still it was a challenge in itself, because of the traveling schedule that we had, and a lot of boys, they didn't get enough sleep before this game because of the time we landed and the traveling that we have to do and all of that. So every game, pushes you to do something special, and I felt, we overcame everything, and yet we did really well on the field. So same way, the next game will be the last before we get into the knockout stages. So we'll keep improving, every game, and that's our motive, to keep improving in every game so that we can maintain the forward shift that we have got.
My word on Shikhar Dhawan, the way he played in the Tri-Series and before that in the Test Series, did you have one-to-one session with him, and you motivated him? Can you share with us?
Devuta is back? No.
No, he is supposed to back on 16th.
Okay. It's important to back players, and we try to do it to the extent we can. And I felt, though he had a tough series, still I felt, we had put in a lot of effort in him. And not to forget, without his contribution, it would have been very difficult to win the Champions Trophy. So we always believed in him. But that final step, that needs to be taken from the individual. And I felt he prepared well for these ODIs. And it obviously takes time. But as I have always said, it's those 15 minutes that really changes everything. And I'm glad he got those 15 minutes. And what he's doing well is in making the most out of it, because as an opener, you may go through tough periods where you may not score runs, you may get good deliveries. But it's very important to think about the process, wherever your limitations are, you keep improving on those areas. And whatever your strength is, you make sure that, whenever it is in that particular area, you make the most out of it, but getting a boundary. But overall, what difference I have seen in his batting is once he gets a start, he makes a good, you can say, he takes that as